There are gonna be so many comparisons to Bohemian Rhapsody with this. Just warning you, it's gonna get exhausting. Rocketman. So Rocketman is the biopic about Elton John. Elton John's played by Taron Egerton, who does a great job. And this shows the life and career of Elton John, the highs, the lows until about 1990. And that's what people want to see with something like this. You know, we know the career, but very rarely do we get to see behind the scenes. A peek behind the curtain, so to speak. It's a biopic, so I don't know how much of it's bullshit. Example, one of his music producers in this movie, well-known music producer whose name I don't actually know because I don't know a lot of music producers' names, but I guess his son in real life isn't happy about how they portrayed him in this movie, so I don't know the truth. All I know is I really dug this movie. First of all, Taron Egerton is amazing in this movie. He's so good. This movie starts out with him telling the story of his life, so when he's a kid, then he gets to be Taron Egerton. The energy he brings immediately, you're like, oh, he's gonna crush it as Elton John. I was gonna say he's the kind of person who just brightens up a room. You've heard that phrase before, right? What those people mean is they brighten up the room when they're happy, but those kind of people also darken a room when they're not. That's what Taron Egerton really brings to it. He brings that energy that totally brightens up a room when he's happy and lively. But when he's at a low, you can tell he just changes the mood in the room. I know people like that. They're just, their energy, they give it off to other people. The supporting characters were great too. It's so easy to be like Taron Egerton, and everyone who says that is totally right about it. But the supporting characters actually stood out. Like Jamie Bell is his best friend, right down to the guy who owns the LA club that they played at. Just this eccentric dude. He cracked me up. Also, I like the musical numbers in this movie. I didn't know this movie would have musical numbers, like a musical, like it's a play or something. It uses Elton John music, a song and dance number with Taron Egerton, who I guess actually sung the music. Again, impressive. But it's used for a transition to basically give you a lot of information in a very short amount of time. Example, this one part where he's like, oh, I have a lot of money now. What do I spend it on? Things. So it's a musical number of him buying stuff, but it goes by so fast. Instead of just showing a montage of him buying stuff, you get a really cool song and dance number with it. I just really dug how they use the musical numbers in here. The thing that this movie does do that a lot of biopics do is the fact that it's hard to tell the passage of time. I don't know if it's been months or years, and someone will be like, I've been with you for years. I'm like, oh, I guess it's been years. How many? 3? 5? What are the years? And it being a peek behind the curtain, a biopic of a famous artist, a famous rock artist, I feel like this theme is in all of them. There's always some music producer type who's a scumbag, and there's usually a bender of drugs, alcohol, and or depression. And that's also in here, and that's why I appreciate these biopics. I appreciate this one, because the natural way to think is they're famous. What have they got to be depressed about? Why are they down? You know, it shouldn't catch me by surprise anymore. But it's like it always does. It did this time, and it will continue to do so. I go into these musical icon biopics not actually knowing I'm going in to watch a tragedy. A tragedy about someone who becomes a musical icon and a multimillionaire. Tragedy. But it's real. Money is not everything, and it does not buy happiness. Because in the end, Rocketman was a proper rock biopic. You see how musically gifted he was as a child. You see the problems that came along with his childhood that he carried into his adulthood. And once again, we find out that rock fame or fame in general isn't all it's cracked up to be. Like, there's some great stuff there, and I'm sure we'd all love a piece of it. But the brighter the bright, the darker the dark. That's just the way it is. And this properly illustrated that. It had some great music to boot. I'll say Rocketman's definitely worth watching and definitely worth buying on Blu-ray. Made it through without one Bohemian Rhapsody comparison. Bam! Alright, so Rocketman, have you seen it? What did you think of it? Or what's a musical biopic or a biopic about a famous person in general that you would like to see? Whatever you think, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.